Patch 14.4 has just dropped for Hell Let Loose on PC and consoles, so let's talk about it. The main things included in this patch is the reintroduction of the dive to prone mechanic, changes to vaulting and mantling, and two night map variants, Carentan and Saint Mare Église. So let's talk about dive to prone first. And yeah, it's just been reintroduced, and I think it's been reintroduced in a good way. When they first brought it into the game, it did have some issues. It still does have some issues, but it's a lot better. And I don't think it can be really used to exploit anything in the game. Yeah, there's probably exploits that'll be found later on, but hopefully those will get squashed. Now, with how dive to prone works in the game, you, of course, sprint along, press your prone button, and you're going to dive to the ground. Now, previously, I think as you were diving, you could shoot and spin around, and when you would hit the ground, you could immediately stand back up and dive to prone again to pretty much keep dive to prone across the whole map, so it'd be really difficult to shoot you. Now, some of the changes they put in is when you dive to prone, when you hit the ground, there is a delay before you can stand back up or go to crouch. That's really good. That stops people doing that exploit. I mean, it's not really an exploit, but keep constantly dive to proning because, yeah, you're going to hit the ground and you can't really do anything. And also, they've added that to shooting and ADSing. As soon as you hit the ground, you cannot shoot and you cannot ADS. Again, there is a slight delay. And I think that's good. That's moving away from what I would consider something that's like more Call of Duty like, of sprinting and dive to prone in and shooting and doing all this stupid movement shit that they call it. So I think dive to prone now is in a good place in Hell Let Loose. One thing that I think they do need to change is that as you're diving, you can still quite freely spin around if you've got like a high mouse sensitivity. And I think they should change that. I think they should kind of drastically reduce your look sensitivity while in the diving motion if they can do that, because it doesn't make sense to like do a 360 spin while diving, really, does it? But dive to prone, I think it's looking good. Now, with vaulting and mantling, there has been some changes to how it actually works. So, how it works now pretty much is you'll vault over something if the thickness of the object you're vaulting over is less than 50 centimeters long or wide, I guess. So that means fences and walls, you will vault over them. If it's something greater than 50 centimeters, you will climb up them instead. And that sounds perfectly fine. And honestly, it is. But it does feel a little weird when vaulting, because when you start the vaulting animation, it is like a forced animation across the object you're vaulting over. You can still spin around and look around, but you will carry on with that vaulting animation over the fence, we'll call it, right? Just over the fence. But really, with how it's working, it does make sense. You would vault over something and carry on vaulting. You wouldn't spin in the vault to land on the fence instead of going over it, which you could do before this. And yeah, I would do that as well, and many other people would do it. You would be vaulting and yeah, turn, then you'll be on the fence instead of jumping over it. And I've seen in Discord a lot of people aren't happy with that because they like to jump on the fence and maybe use that to get to other areas. But you can still jump on fences and walls. You just need to jump at the end of the fence, like at the end of the fence post, to angle yourself going along the top of the fence, and you'll just jump onto it. Same with the wall. So it's no big issue, really. And to be honest, it was a little bit scuffed that you could vault over a fence but turn and land up on top of the fence and sprint along the top of the fence as well while making no footstep noises. And yeah, I mean, you can still run along the fence with no footstep noise, which is weird. They should put in something to make a little bit of noise, because you can be like the super stealthy guy running along a fence. Doesn't make sense. But vaulting, it just feels fine. And with the night maps that have been added, Carentan and Saint Mare Église, I can't give you my full opinion on them yet. I didn't play the P2E when they were available just because of not being available to play on it. So I'll give you my full thoughts on those maps when I can actually fully play a few rounds on them. But I've been really looking forward to Carentan Night, just because Carentan is the best map in the game, right? nearly everyone you ask, Carentan is the best map. Why is Carentan the best map? Because it's Carentan. That's just how it is. San Mergles, again, that could be a really good night map because of the mix of urban fighting and the more like field fighting. But again, I'll give you my final thoughts on those two maps when I can actually get some rounds on them. We get some bug fixes as well in this patch, but the main bug that is, we'll say, apparently fixed is the loadout bug. Now, how long has this bug been in the game for? It's got to be a year or two or more. And if you don't know what the loadout bug is, it's pretty much if you select a non default loadout for a role, let's say you choose the second medic loadout, the one with the pistol, but you spawn in and it gives you the default one. That's the loadout bug, right? You're being given the default loadout instead of the loadout you actually picked. Apparently, it's been fixed. And thank fuck it's finally been fixed because this bug is so fucking annoying. So if we have that fixed along with the grenade bug, which was fixed I think in the last patch, then that is awesome. That's two long running major bugs finally fixed. So let's now talk about something a bit more controversial, I guess, which is the NVIDIA filters. Now, if you don't know what the NVIDIA filters are, it's something that NVIDIA GPU users can use on their PC to put in a bunch of different effects and stuff in game to Hell Let Loose. And these can be used to give players a major visibility advantage over other players. And people do this because I've seen footage of people doing this, and people make videos using these filters to show off how good they can be, right? So people do use them. They can also be used to just give you some like cool different effects in game. Right, I made a Band of Brothers style video using the NVIDIA filters. These filters were put together by a different YouTuber. I can't quite remember his name. It may have been Captain Tom or something. But for a while now, people have been calling for Team 17 to block the use of NVIDIA filters in Hell Let Loose just because they can be used to give you a big visibility advantage over other players that don't use them. And now Team 17 are speaking to NVIDIA to basically get these filters blocked. And really, this is just a good thing. There have been a few people in the official Hell Let Loose Discord that aren't happy that these filters are going, and I think it's mainly people from the competitive scene of Hell Let Loose, and I've been getting involved with these discussions as well. And yeah, these guys aren't happy that the filters will be blocked. Their argument is that anyone can pretty much use these filters, or there's other sort of programs or other things, and even monitor settings that can get the same style of like filters across or into the game or do the same sort of thing, but they're still really unhappy that specifically the filters are being blocked, even though they've said that they can just use their monitor to do the same sort of settings anyway. So I don't know why they're so unhappy that the filters are being blocked, but they can be used to give you a major advantage over other players in terms of visibility. So removing these filters, really, it's a good thing. I think the percentage of Hell Let Loose players that use them is extremely small. I think most Hell Let Loose players don't even know that NVIDIA filters exist. The one issue, though, with these filters going is that they can be used to help colorblind players. And currently in game, there's nothing for colorblind players. There's no colorblind settings, which should be in the game. And I think when they get to the point when they block filters, they need to have a patch on the same day to add in like color blindness modes. There's various like different types of color blindness which they need to have settings for to help those players out. But let me know what you think about the changes introduced in this patch, the introduction of dive prone and the changes to vaulting, as well as the discussions around NVIDIA filters. Do you think they should go? Do you think they should stay? Let me know what you think. Give the video a like if you liked it, dislike if you didn't, subscribe for more, and thank you for watching.